We will open this meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Billy Day, for the prayer. You step to the podium, please.
Hi, I'm Bill Day. I was asked by council to come and pray for the meeting tonight. So this is the first time I've ever did this, so I'm not really good at it, but I'm trying. So I thank you for having me here, and I pray to God that all decisions here are done in a Christian manner, Lord. And I pray for all good things to come from this meeting tonight, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you.
Thank you. A roll call, please.
Mayor Williams.
Here.
Councilor Burke.
Here.
Councilor Berger.
Here.
Councilor Cope.
Here.
Councilor Smith.
Here.
Councilor Taylor.
Here.
Councilor Zimmerman.
Here.
Roll call is complete, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Welcome everyone here tonight. Everybody who's online. I appreciate you being here and participating tonight. For announcements and announcements. I have it on there twice. I do want to remind everybody that the chainsaw carving starts on Thursday. So go down and enjoy yourself for the weekend. Does anyone else have any other announcements? Okay. There are no minutes to approve, so we will move on to department head reports, starting with the city administrator.
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council. Within the next 2 or 3 days, a few of us are going to be scoring out the statement of qualifications for the wastewater PER. From there, we'll go ahead and get with Andy, and we'll interview the first choice on that, get a price from them. If we're satisfied that, we can go forward. If not, we'll go to the second and then the third place. We did get 3 applications for that. WWC Engineers completed their draft engineering plan and preliminary hydrology study for the spoils pile up at Biathlon Ski Course. We're hoping to complete that planning within the next 2 months so we can get it to the council so they can consider all the decisions to whether to go forward with it or not for phase 2, which would be removal of the spoils pile, creation of a parking lot. Largest surprise so far is that when they dug the test pits, they didn't find any large hunks of concrete. It was supposedly just a bunch of them under there, but they dug 4 test holes all the way down to the bottom and didn't find anything. We're going to be closing out phase 1 of the Spruce Street project that was rebuilt over there with the state within the next week so we can get reimbursement. Phase 1 from the highway coming up almost to the tennis courts, it only cost the city $63,000. And that was because of a $231,000 grant from SLIPA, which is the State and Local Infrastructure Partnership Act, which helped out there. As you can see, phase 2 already started 2 weeks ago. And right now we've hit a few little snags with some drain water lines and everything, but this is to be expected. With phase 1, we had water main issues, water main service issues, and more curbing issues. So we're hoping to finish that within the next 3 weeks, but Department of Revenue wants it done this week so they can get back to work. Weston Solutions and the DEQ came up for OU1 inspection. Usually they come early in the spring. That's Riverfront Park. It does OU1, Operational Unit 1 for the Asbestos Recovery Program or Cleanup Act. They came later on in the year, which actually worked out really good with us because they were actually able to see erosion that they can't see in the spring. So the good thing is now the mayor can work with them, and she is now, on helping to bring in some more soil and some maybe more trees and working with other people to help fix up the park. So that's ongoing right now. The security camera systems for Fireman's Park came in. We got 8 cameras in the system now. We're looking for an electrician. We're going to go ahead and get that wired up, get it all tested out. That way next year when that opens up, we'll go ahead and have the camera system. We are trying to do it without volume as was suggested by the council, simply because of the retention and the size of the videos that we have to keep.
And those go outside.
These will be outside against the wall between the bathroom doors so that there's no way visibility could ever come into the restroom. And we got it through MMIA, also approved at locations. We're just gonna have to get some signs up to make sure the cameras are up there. There will be hardwired cameras, just hardwired right into looks like a VHS or a VCR player. So it'll be there, and then if anything happens, we can go down there and get the footage transferred onto a thumb drive and look at it. Fireman's Park Campground is now closed for the season, with one little exception. There's a park district group that's coming in for a project, and they were supposed to stay down at Jane Neal's Park. With the fire camp that's going on down there, they won't let their campers stay down there, so we're just going to have like 3 campers staying there for just a couple nights for the part of the park district project. With the gravel,
The Circle Sweet gravel ride.
for the Circle Swede gravel ride that's going into there. And that's my report, Madam Mayor and Council.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, Mr. Williams, streets report.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. Wasn't here last month, so I'm going to give you a little bit of what we did in July as well as August. So, as you can see, downtown painting was finally completed. That took us that evolution a little under than 3 weeks total time. We had burials at the cemetery for the month of July. We had 8 cremains and 1 full. August we had 5 cremains and 1 full. We got involved with some water sampling for the water plant, or for the water plant for future PER information. So we were tasked with doing some sampling up at the head end of the upper reservoir, the bottom side of the reservoir, the dam right below the dam, the intake, the lower reservoir, and then the inlet coming into the plant. So we were sampling. I don't know where they're at with that as far as the sampling goes, but we did some of that, evolution of that. We've been doing some brushing around the storm retention, the water retention pond down on City's service road. So that's the one that's severely overgrown, siding out, tall grass, etc. So we've been whittling away on that when we got some extra time. We're still hauling waste from the wastewater treatment plant press to the landfill once a week. The yearly PRV inspection and repairs has been completed, so they come every year. They try to get here at the beginning of the summer, but they got here about middle of July. They went through and they just give a glance at 5 of them or 7, and they make repairs to 7 of them. And then every year they alternate. So we're making sure our PRVs are up to speed with what they're designed to do. So that was completed. We finished up some alley grading and repairs. Lots of sprinkler repairs this year, mainly Riverfront Park, the cemetery, and along the boulevard. We've also been actively working on cleaning out storm drains. A lot of debris finds its way into the storm drains, and it doesn't serve the purpose well when we load the sediment. We also made it into the sedimentation basin, and that is at the lower reservoir, so that's our pass-through. It gives all the opportunity for all the sediment to kind of, the first opportunity for that, kind of not necessarily falls out, so it gets a really fine, slimy material over a period of a year's time. So we try to do it every year. That way there's not a lot, and we can do it, expeditiously. So we got that performed. That structure still looks sound, so no concerns there. We had one individual on for 2 weeks hydrant flushing. So every year they go through and do the hydrant flushes. Last year the fire department did it. This year we did it. Next year the fire department, so forth. We've been alternating year after year. And we got a really good list of what is going on with the hydrants, what needs attention, just little things. Been monitoring the upper reservoir water elevation. So last year there was we choked the city administrator went up, choked that valve down, that gate valve down. So with that, our water retention is a lot greater because obviously we're in a drought situation. We've been having in the last couple of years, probably continue for a year or two. So July 21st we were at 9'5". August 28th we were at 8'1". So this time last year we were down. So that paid off. Paying attention to that, getting that gate valve down for water retention. Sweeping activities Been lots of debris, like I said earlier, lots of debris in city streets, branches, leaves, grass clippings, contractor debris such as sheetrock and wood products, and various types of gravels. So we have people that, they do their driveways, or we have contractors driving through town. They're dropping stuff all over the roadway, grass clippings on the road. Those are the types of things that find their way into the gutter. They cover up the storm drains, they plug the storm drains off, then we have lakes built in intersections, and it just creates grief. So we're trying to keep those things clean and keep people educated as best we can to try to help us out. We have also been doing a lot of camera work and root cutting, feeding down the sewer mains. Lots of grease being dumped into our system. We're seeing that with our camera. We're pulling it back in slugs. It's not good. We've also been focusing on running all of our sewer mains in town with the jetter. We're about 60% complete with that. We want to get as much info as we can. We've been filing everything, so MMIA has been talking with them a lot, and they've been assisting, giving us pointers of, hey, you haven't done this before, you need to do it now, and this is why. So we've been really putting a lot of effort into doing that. It's only going to benefit us down the road. Then we also gathered surplus items for our auction to take place in September. Atlanta's been working on that. We've also been performing some valve can clean out, so our valve cans get loaded with water, and then we go to want to choke a main down, or we have a problem. It's a struggle because it's not clear and it's not to be able to use it until we get it cleaned out, which then complicates it, adds time to the situation. We have some water theft out here from the hose bib. It's the one that's the HDP line comes out. It's for our sprinkler system. So I know somebody's over there filling a 250-gallon tote. I stopped, asked them what they're up to. They said they're getting water from their horse. I said, by chance, did you make it to City Hall? So that does happen. So if you see somebody out there doing it, I mean, we don't give water away. It's just as simple, just come down here and, say, hey, this is what I'd like to do, can I do that? So that's the one situation or instance I've seen this year. We've been doing also lots of patching and paving, trying to get ahead of that. Always a challenge. We've had 2 sidewalk replacements. So we've had some of that done this summer. We've done some ditch work. We ditched all the way along Hashkey, so that's the one that's on the south slope. Hashkey runs east-west. It's over off of Flower Creek. You got Connexu, all that time. It hasn't been ditched in a long time. That's a real pretty steep hillside, so we get a lot of sloughage. It loads that ditch up, and we got no place for water to go, and we have a runoff and off the roadway, so we spent some time with her ditching that all out, so we went from Flower Creek all the way down around to the Gallatin, I guess, would be the last cross street. We've also been doing some brushing up the upper dam reservoir around the Shotcrete area. On the backside, you just got to maintain it. It'll just create havoc if we don't. So we've done a little bit of that. And then on Friday afternoon, about 1 o'clock, we had a 10-inch water main rupture on 6th Street, just west of the Nevada intersection. So we were there until 5:30 that night, making a repair to one of our water mains. So that's what we've been up to.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Williams?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But thank you for all that
You're
work.
welcome. Thank you.
Thanks. Police.
Mayor, Council, August was a very busy month for us. We had 301 cases that we handled. In 2024, we only had 219. This comes from our 2 officers who are in the field training program. We're being very, very aggressive and proactive in finding work to do. Instead of waiting around for calls to come out, they're going out, interacting with the public as much as they can to find those experiences that they need while they're under supervision, that way they can learn as much as possible. We responded to 2 assaults, 13 disturbances, 7 threatening calls, 9 thefts, 1 mental health call, 1 vagrancy call, 11 welfare checks, 17 public assists, 9 911 calls, 2 juvenile problems, 8 walkthroughs, 4 city ordinances, 24 suspicious people or vehicle, 10 crashes, 2 DUIs, 2 drug cases, and 132 traffic stops. So both Officer Stephenson and Officer Smart are doing very well on field training. They're progressing rapidly. Officer Smart will actually be finishing field training this week. So we'll talk to him a little bit today, and he's ecstatic to be able to not have someone breathing down his neck constantly. and just be able to go out and interact with the public more. In August, we were also able to host a free defensive tactics training that was attended by not only all the PD officers, but as well as the Sheriff's Office, Troy Police Department, Eureka Police Department, and Border Patrol. So we're excited to be able to share that experience with all the other agencies. That training is to help our officers be able to protect themselves in non-cooperative situations, as well as to be able to take someone into custody by causing the least amount of harm possible. So it's a great class. Everyone did very well. There weren't any injuries, and everyone had a good time. So we were very excited about those bonding moments we were able to share with the other agencies as well, and bring in some new training that hasn't been brought to this area in quite a while. So that was August for us. If you have any questions.
Yes.
The 24 suspicious calls.
Yes, ma'am.
People. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Did they produce anything of merit?
Not. I believe one was a drug case that ended up turning into a drug case. 8 of those were self-initiated, where officers driving around saw something that was off and addressed it, either having someone move along, signing them. The other ones were concerned citizens calling in and addressing the issue that they observed. So, as far as anything really big coming out of them, none out of the actual suspicious calls.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you very much. Do you have anything for finance?
I do, Madam Mayor, Council. I just have one announcement. The budget for the fiscal year 25 has been compiled. I'm just waiting for signatures, which I was waiting for Sam to get back from vacation, and I can send it on to the state. So, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Committee reports. No budget report. Building?
No report at this time.
Parks?
Nothing to report.
Fire?
No report. Steve's out on the fire.
Okay. Light street sidewalks?
No report.
Ordinances? None. Water sewer? Wildlife?
No report at this time.
Okay. So we will move on to finish. I didn't get that on there. We will move on to items not on the agenda. And if the public wishes to speak to items not on the agenda but within the jurisdiction of the City of Libby Council, then step to the podium, state your name, and you will have 3 minutes. So are there any public comments on items not on the agenda? Mr. Orr.
I am D.C. Orr. I reside at 1117 Nevada Avenue. The chief kind of stole my thunder before the meeting got started. I made a records request about, on the 14th for the 2 police reports that were filed in conjunction with a failed TRO. Thank God the judge saw through it, saw it as just a political activism. But the chief assured me that it is in the works to get my records request, get it dealt with. Now, I do want to thank the chief and Councilman Taylor both. I sent out that records request right before lunch on the 14th, and they both answered in very short order. They both told me I had to address it through the city attorney. I sent the city attorney the same email, and I have never heard from your city attorney. I had a chance to ask the chief again today. He made a phone call again today, and I'm assured that it is being dealt with. Now, you're going to hear more and more about that records request. You're going to hear more and more about that TRO, that failed TRO request. And the stuff that went into those police reports. But what you guys need to understand, you are individuals who are citizens of Libby, and you are also elected officials. So when one of your members acts out in such egregious and extremist manner, you have to understand that that reflects on all of you. And this person was not elected. This person was appointed by you. So you guys do have an obligation to come alongside your fellow members and say, hey, why don't you slow that down a little bit? Maybe that wasn't the right way to approach it. Because since then, there has been one that is even more egregious and more extremist. Post on a Facebook page that was just plumb full of lies. We had to deal with it at the local government study commission today. And that's just the kind of stuff that disrupts our relationship. Now, I am just a citizen, but I am also an elected member of the study group. And I want to work with you guys. I want to help correct some of the stuff that we're finding, and we are finding stuff. Thank you for your time.
Any other public comments not on the agenda? Any other public comments of items not on the agenda? Public comment on items not on the agenda. Then seeing none, we will move on to the first of our public hearings. The first one is regarding a conditional use permit request by Monica Riley concerning her moving her salon into her house. I will note that in your package there was the copy of the post from the newspaper so that the public hearing was properly posted. Would you like to step to the podium and state your request and give any information you think is pertinent?
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. My name is Monica Riley and I live at 1004 Idaho Avenue. I'm here tonight regarding the conditional use permit I have applied for. Approval of this permit would allow me to operate my salon business from within my residence. And in doing so, I will be able to provide my clients with more convenient and timely appointments, while also being more present for my family and my young child. I'd like to start by explaining that the current footprint of my house will not need to change in any way to accommodate the business. And I'd like to also point out that the salon itself will remain incidental and secondary to my primary residence. In addition, my home has adequate off-street parking available to clients. And since I will be the only one operating in my business, it pretty much guarantees that only one vehicle will be present at any given time. And to further minimize traffic in consideration of my neighbors, I plan to implement a strict appointment-only policy, and I plan to also stagger appointment times, so to avoid any overlap and ensure minimal traffic. I'd like to also assure you that I will never ever need or desire to erect any sign to identify or advertise my business in any way. That's it. I appreciate your time and consideration of my application.
Does any member of the council have a question that they would like to pose?
So
Okay.
are you just using your garage, or are you using a room that's within the house?
So it would be, yeah, a side room. It's kind of like a kind of living room almost, and it has its own separate entrance and exit for fire
Gotcha.
safety and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other clarifications? Okay, and you can sit down and we will take public comment.
Oh, thank you.
So if anyone has a public comment on this application for conditional use permit, step to the podium, give us your comments, and you will have 3 minutes. So any public comments on this application? Public comments on this application, Mr. Orr?
I am DC Orr, 1117 Nevada Avenue, and you already knew that. A lot of times in these situations, there's a survey of the neighbors, make sure the neighbors are aware of it. I am a neighbor, And I'm ashamed to say I've never met my neighbor, but I will rectify that. But what I want to say is I go by their house 3-4 times a day. Every time I go to town, I go by their house. And what I see there is pride of ownership, something that is increasingly rare in Libby. These folks decorate their front yard up for every holiday better than my wife does. They take good care of their lawn. They got a backyard that, not saying I peek through the fence as I walk by, but they got a backyard that is set up to take care of the kids. And they just seem to have it all together. And as a neighbor, I want to let you know that I wholly recommend that you allow this. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Any other public comments? Any other public comments regarding this request? Then seeing none, I would bring it back to the council to determine if you have any other comments or questions. And I will note that attached to the application was the nearest neighbors, and none of whom had any negative comment to make. Okay? So if there are no other questions or comments, we will close this public hearing. So this public hearing is adjourned, and we will open the second public hearing, which is a conditional use permit request from Bill Corbett regarding the placement of a trailer on his lot. I will note that there's also a publication from the newspaper so that the public hearing was properly noticed. I will note that there was some misinformation kind of distributed regarding this because the trailer and the house were situated on the wrong lots because of the way the survey map was kind of backwards in it, so that the house and the trailer will be on separate lots. So, Mr. Corbett, would you like to step to the podium and take a few minutes to explain your request?
Hi, I'm Bill Corbett. I live 191 Ravenwood Lane. I'd like to sell my home to my son, and it put me homeless, so I'd like to put a trailer house on the adjoining acre. So my house sits on an acre, the trailer house would sit on an acre. It won't be for rent. When my wife and I leave this earth, I'm sure my son will sell the trailer and it'll be another acre of vacant lot. I've given pictures to you guys. You can see what I want to do. I appreciate you put some thought into it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. He did distribute some pictures of the location of his home and the lot. There was also a comment that came in from Christy Derry supporting the placement of the trailer, and also the near neighbor's comments, none of which protested. And as I said, the survey map has, if you put the home on the left, lot on the left, the trailer will go on the lot on the right. And the road is in front of the lot, which has the house on it. So we did not, that was confused when we had the information given to us. It was reversed. Okay, so are there any questions, comments from the council? Seeing none, I will open this public hearing for public comments. If you have public comments regarding this conditional use permit, step to the podium and state your name and address, and you will have 3 minutes to make the comment. So, public comments regarding this, Mr. Orr.
DCO 1117 Nevada. When you passed the ordinance for the accessory dwelling units, I gave you a pat on the back because it was a great idea, and I hope more people take advantage of it, and I think it's still a great idea. I made a joke with Mr. Corbett as I came in. the city signed his checks for a lot of years, and they don't know how to spell his name.
So, any other public comments on this request? Public comments on this request? So, seeing no public comments, bring it back to the council table. Does the council have any questions or comments at this time? Seeing none, then I would close this public hearing, and we will move on to the agenda items. As the council moves on to the new business, the public is welcome to comment on each agenda item under consideration, allowing you to share your thoughts and comments with council. Again, each person is limited to 3 minutes, and comments must be specific to the agenda item under discussion. So our first new business item is the conditional use permit for Monica Riley. It's a request to operate a salon at 10001 Idaho Avenue.
Madam Mayor, I'll have
Yes.
to abstain.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we take a vote on the conditional use permit for Monica Riley at 1004 Idaho Avenue.
Okay, you're taking a vote, but do you want to approve it or?
Oh, sorry, approve, sorry.
I
I got off wrong when I started reading the sentence. I'm like, oh, it doesn't have approved. I can't get it out of my
That's
mouth.
because that was giving you leeway to go either way. So the motion would be to approve the conditional use
Yes,
permit.
thank you.
Okay, do you have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, is there any comments or questions? Okay, any comments from the public? Comments from the public? Comments for the public? So all in favor of granting that conditional use permit?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. That conditional use permit is approved. Okay. Which will bring us to the conditional use permit for Bill Corbett. It's a request for the mobile trailer home to be placed on his lot at 190, I guess it's actually 192 Ravenwood Drive.
Make a motion.
193.
I make a motion. Oh.
Yes.
I make
abstain. We're gonna do it.
I'll make a motion to approve the request from Bill and Mike Corbett for the mobile trailer to be used at their property on 191 Ravenwood.
193.
193, sorry.
I'll second.
Okay. So are there council comments or questions at this time?
Yes, I support this conditional use permit for a number of reasons. This community is very short on housing, first of all. The adjacent land use is similar. I believe Mr. Corbett's house is the only single-family residence in the neighborhood. So this would not be disruptive to the adjacent land use pattern. On the other side of it is city water treatment plant. So it's not discordant with what is expected in the neighborhood. I don't even care if it continues to be rented to somebody else long after you pass. This community needs housing. I would add that the mobile home be skirted and fully compliant with all of their permits.
Any other comments? Okay, any other public comment? Public comment? Public comment? Then all in favor of granting the conditional use permit for Mr. Corbett?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That permit is approved. That brings us to the Chamber of Commerce, an introduction of their desire to have a long-term lease on their building. But they did, prior to the meeting, they did pass out a list of the things that their current building needs, repairs. So, Miranda?
My name is Miranda Craven. The address is 905 West 9th Street. Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. On behalf of the Libby Area Chamber of Commerce, we'd like to thank you for the opportunity to present today. We are here to introduce the request for an approval of both a memorandum of understanding and a commercial land lease agreement regarding the Chamber's building at 905 West 9th Street. The Chamber and the City have a long-standing relationship in maintaining this property, and these agreements are designed to clearly outline responsibilities, protect both parties, and ensure stability moving forward. And in moving forward, the Chamber is applying for some grants to improve or rebuild the Chamber if needed. And in looking into some of those grants, we've found areas where we would hopefully be able to collaborate with the city on some of the downtown stuff you guys are doing. So that's very much in our minds. The Memorandum of Understanding confirms that the Chamber owns, insures, and maintains the building and crawl space located at 905 West 9th Street. The City of Libby owns and maintains the land at that address and will continue to insure and care for the grounds. If the Chamber makes improvements or replacements to the exterior of the building, we will then submit a written proposal within 120 days for the City's review and approval. This document ensures transparency and a clear distinction between the City's role as the landowner and the Chamber's role as the building owner. Second, the commercial land lease agreement provides additional detail and formality. It establishes that the Chamber will lease the land at 905 West 9th Street, including 3 parking spaces. They currently lease the space for $1 a year. The land will continue to be used exclusively for Chamber and Visitor Information Center operations. The Chamber will be responsible for utilities, insurance, and upkeep of the building, while the City will continue maintaining the surrounding land, including the parking lot, the Fireman's Park facilities, EV charging stations, and related infrastructure. We are also very willing to pay the property taxes. The lease also addresses the terms of renewal, procedures for improvements, and the City's right to sell the land in the future with fair provision should that occur. The reason we bring this forward now is that the Chamber is actively exploring options to repair, update, or if needed in the future, replace our current building. When pursuing grants or other outside sources of funding for this kind of investment, it's common that proof of ownership and stability of the site is clearly documented and outlined. While we understand and fully acknowledge that we cannot and do not own the land itself, these agreements provide the necessary framework to demonstrate that the Chamber owns and maintains the building and that we have a secure long-term agreement with the City regarding the property. Together, these 2 agreements provide that solid framework that benefits both the City and the Chamber. We believe it is a fair and balanced path forward, and we respectfully ask the Council to review the Memorandum of Understanding and Commercial Land Agreement. Thank you for your consideration.
So, does anyone have any questions? And I'm going to clarify that because you are seeking these grants, you need to have that long-term lease, which will give you some ownership. And the original, we did finally find the original lease, which started out to give you that ownership, but was within 6 years, the building was given back to the council, the city.
And that ends in 2027, and again, that document is very gray. It's very gray. Vague, yes.
Yes, and then there was another lease taken out in 2017.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That one ends in 2027.
Yes, that one ends in 27. So yes, that's why we're looking at this agreement. And so, does the council have any questions?
No, I wholly support it, and I think we should be expedient in getting it done. The city doesn't need to take on that building, but a nice firm lease for the Chamber to continue to operate and have a good-looking building is warranted.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
I also believe that building serves as our local tourist information center as well.
Yes. Basically, the Chamber's mission is tourism?
Not necessarily. Our mission is to support our local business, and in that we play a hand in tourism as acting as a visitor center, getting people into our local businesses. So yes, we are also the Visitor Information Center. We're recognized by Glacier Country Tourism in the state for that as well.
Okay. So any other questions or comments?
Will you have an agreement for next meeting?
Yes, we hope to have that in place. We kind of have, I don't know if Mr. Chisholm wants to say anything at this point, because there was some question on exactly how to give ownership of the building to the Chamber while we retain the land, because technically if a building is put on your land, you end up owning the building. So there was some question about how to word that lease long term so that we can have that separation. So, Mr. Chisholm?
Yeah, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. when you started hearing me, I can no longer hear you, so I'll watch your lips. Well, so you lease real property. You can't own a building on somebody else's property. Either you own the property or you don't. So we can either lease the entire piece of real estate to the chamber, and upon that real estate will be a building, or we can own the property and then sell it to them so that they own the entire parcel. But if we want to retain some portion of the real estate for other uses, then we could lease a portion of the real estate to them. But there is no legal relationship in which one party owns the real property and one party owns the building on the property.
But a long-term
Does that make
commercial
sense?
lease would satisfy the grant.
Yes.
Just include the words forever and ever.
Did you hear Ms.?
Well, we can't actually do that, but we can do a 25-year renewable lease or whatever.
I like forever, but that sounds good.
Okay. Any other comments? Any questions for Mr. Chisholm regarding it?
Well, thank you for taking the initiative to try and
So-
get the upkeep going on that place. That'd be nice.
So, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chisholm. And I did put it on as introduction, so that we have time to think about it and to look into it a little more before we make a decision. So are there any public comments regarding this request? Mr. Hutzberger?
I was slow, I'm sorry. When Miranda bought this, Gary Hutzberger, 384 East Commerce Way, brought this condition up to me, I says I couldn't believe it because that was a big part of the chamber when we did all this and built the building and very vibrantly we got together. It was interesting to find out that there was something but not enough to satisfy everybody as far as the lease and the ownership. And it just seems common sense. It's kind of the same situation we're in. We don't own the building we're in. We lease the building we're in, and we're responsible for everything in the building. I don't care who owns it. I don't think you do. As long as it retains itself as a chamber. It's very important. It's a great location, and they get a lot of traffic there. So, other than going back to the original circumstances, everybody just assumed that this was done. And I think that was probably not anybody's fault. It's just the way it evolved. So I strongly support it. I think we all should. It's been a great participant in the community. We use it ourselves. And nothing else. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Any other, Mr. Orr?
So this is just an introduction, and I just a couple of things I hope that you add to this as you move ahead with it is the size of the lot, the exact parameters of the real estate, as your attorney says. There was a contentious issue with the two farmers markets just a couple of years ago, where the chamber was trying to kick one farmer's market off of their property. And as it turned out, they have a pretty limited piece of real estate there, and a big part of the parking lot is your property. So just if you could clarify that as you move through this, I think it would sure make it better for everyone. And did I understand right, it's a 25-year lease, or is that just a recommendation from the attorney at this point?
That is undetermined at this point.
Okay, so you will clarify that too. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Any other public comments? Any other public comments? Then seeing none, we will move on to the next two items. The Lore's offer to fund the replacement of, Gary. Kootenai Heritage Council's request for community development funds. Should have put my glasses on sooner.
My name is Gary Hutzberger. I live at 384 Commerce Way, East Commerce Way. I'm going to take the opportunity to do a little solicitation. So I wrote up a little history, which I wrote this several years ago, and I simply stated how this evolved. It evolved out of LADC funds. I'll share that with you. And I was a part of the City Council LADC committee, where they went in front of a business group of community citizens, and those individuals did a presentation. The presentation went in front of that group. That group brought that forward to the City Council. As a member of the City Council, I was one of the overseers of, and I sat through, say, the process of somebody applying for those monies. In our situation, the building was built on for $2.1 million. $600,000 of that once, $600,000 of that twice, and $900,000 grant, and those were out of the LADC funds. So that money has already gone into that facility. A little bit back up here in the chamber thing. We don't own it. We don't want to own it. It's a community facility. The school district doesn't want to own it, so they lease it to us. One of the involvements out of that, which was kind of interesting, Kirby was digging around in that room where the little theater is. It was just full of junk. They had a garage sale, and we kind of uncovered it that it was an old auditorium, as you can see how it is now. So through a variety of volunteers participating and our group, because we were doing the same thing, that's how that got evolved. In other words, we got 600 seats out of Mother Lode Theater in Butte. I got stuck with 500 of them. Finally, I took them to the dump. But those are all the chairs that are in there. And it was all volunteers. Everybody came in, and we did the whole thing. And I don't know of anybody that didn't participate in that. And what a wonderful little theater. And we used it probably about a year before we were ever done. So we evolved into the kind of community things that are neat to see. As we allude to the chamber, and we allude to ourselves, and we allude to that. We're all one. We're not a great big town, so it's very important that we try to work together and create anything we can, that makes us a little bit better as far as the community goes. I don't have to explain again, black and white, the boiler, which isn't very much money. We talked about, Christian did about grants. I don't know, we probably got a couple 100,000 grants. We're kind of milking the grant machine dry, you might say. We're in the program now with Lore, developing that community office or a meeting room, so anybody can come in and use it. We're getting closer to it. We probably put 100,000 into the heating system last year, which obviously doesn't work. One of the grants we got when Star Backing was there, we've gotten a $60,000 roof out of the foundation. I can't remember their name, but we've definitely taken the grant process. Presently, we're under contract with the Community Foundation for $4,200 to do the interior of that and the upgrades we need to make it a full community forum. So, I'll sit up here and babble all night long. Any questions? It's pretty black and white. It's a small amount of money compared to what we've done before, but we've got to milk everybody that we deal with. For the grants we've done, we've got all new lighting and all new sound. We just put that into some other grant avenues we've taken, and a lot of great support for ourselves and the whole circumstance of our existence. So what I passed out here, next weekend we have what we call a kickoff party. Peggy and Christian have been a part of that. It's free. We go through, we have entertainment there and snacks. We go through our venue for the year. We have 5 entertainments that we bring in from the state of Montana, and then we have a couple we stick on top of that. And we solicit that, come one, come all. They've all been a part of that, and it's a great evening. Everything's on the house. It's just tell us what we're doing for the year. The following week, we have what we call Nashville Night. We've never done a fundraiser before. It's been fairly successful. This will be the third year, maybe the fourth year. I'm losing my mind here. But the bottom line is that the only thing we've ever done, and like everybody else, my 3 minutes is up.
Well, you're moving up into advertising and promotion,
Yeah,
and so
gotta take advantage of this
we need to
opportunity,
stick with,
you know.
and come, would you come and see me, because I do have a check for you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Tomorrow, because I forgot to get here with it tonight.
No.
Okay, so
Thank you.
is there any council questions
Yeah,
or
any questions? They got an
comments
answer.
at this moment? Okay, then I would open it for public comments on this request from the Community Development Fund. It is $19,672.57 to repair the boiler. So any public comments? Any public comments? Then come back to the council. Any questions before I close? All in favor of the, oh no.
No motion.
I was going to say there's no motion.
I would make a motion to approve community development funds to the Kootenai Heritage Council for on their boiler. Just because I know they're only asking for the amount just below the 20, but in case there's anything unforeseen, you know, that comes up when the guys there working on it, I would maybe say up to 25 as long as there's receipts to pay.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. So that motion is on the table for $25,000 with receipts?
Up to
with receipts? Okay. All in favor of the motion? Yes.
I do not support that motion. I do support the Heritage Center. I see us covering the expenses thereafter, maybe $20,000, but to exceed an extra $5,000, I do not support that.
Okay.
Well, it's not saying that there's going to be anything, but I'm just saying in case there is something that comes along while they're in there working on it.
We just recently had it worked on and serviced, and that was an estimate from the repair technician of what he saw while he was in there. So that's, I don't support it.
Have your quotes not ever gone over? I'm just
So-
asking.
So what's the?
You know.
Did I have a second? I do have a second from Melissa.
Yeah,
So,
I would be inclined to keep it to what the original estimate is, 57 cents exactly.
I'm satisfied with that.
I do. Based on our guidelines, I don't think this is a exact fit, but I think this facility serves the community in such a capacity that it's important that we continue to support it.
Okay. Any other comments? And so I have two that would like to take it back to the original amount, but I have the motion for up to 25.
I agree with the original amount.
Okay. So Brian, would you like to amend your motion?
I would amend my motion to the original amount requested.
Is that okay? So all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
And as I said, you do need to bring receipts to be able to get the money, okay?
Yeah, we're beating on them to get them.
So thank you.
Thank you.
So then, now we move on to the lower grants, two lower requests. One is for the Ponderosa Room kitchen, and the other is for some audiovisual. So we'll start with the kitchen.
Great. Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council. Tabitha Birgitz with the Lore Foundation at our new address, 417 Mineral Avenue, Suite 6. The Lore Foundation was approached for the emergency community shelter equipment. There is some kitchen equipment in the Ponderosa Room that has reached its shelf life essentially, and that room pairs as the emergency center for the city of Libby. The deputy clerk and treasurer reached out with this grant proposal for $2,480 that would replace a number of appliances, including a refrigerator, a dishwasher, range, and the delivery fee for those equipment pieces. Again, that's to replace the equipment that is in there that does not adequately serve should an emergency happen.
So are there any questions from the council? Having used that kitchen and used that stove, I can tell you that it's a real iffy thing if you want to put something in the oven. So and you wash the dishes by hand, because there is a dishwasher in there, but it no longer functions. So there's no questions from the council. You want to make a comment or question? Then I would open it for public comments. Thank you, Tabitha. Any public comments? Mr. Huntsberger.
I just happened to run into these. My wife happened to be in that kitchen here just recently. She says, I wouldn't use a pan in that place. It's just a dog pit. So I'm glad to see you did that, because I can't remember what the event was, but it was in the last 6 weeks or so. So it's very important, because it used to be fine because we used it a lot.
It's gotten a lot of
slipped over the years.
It's had a lot of use over the years.
So anyway, that was her comment. That's not mine.
Okay. Any other public comments on this LOR grant? Any other public comments? Public comments? Then bring it back to the council table.
I'll make a motion that we accept the contribution from LOR for $24.80 for the ponderous room upgrades.
A second.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Then all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will get that grant signed. Thank you. Okay.
All right, going over the second grant proposal. This grant was requested by the City of Libby treasurer, clerk and treasurer, as well as the city manager. Essentially, this grant would move to improve the audiovisual equipment and engage the Libby residents with local government. The way it was brought up to me, essentially when someone presents, it gets presented on a wall, and it's very hard for the public to see those things. Sometimes it's hard for individuals in the crowd to see those things when they're to the side. This would provide, I believe, TVs that would be on rollers that could be moved around, so it would be easier for the public to engage their local government. This grant is for $24,000 even to include the audio and visual components needed for this upgrade, and has been approved by the LOR Foundation pending the approval tonight.
Okay.
May I add one thing?
Yes.
The audio portion of it is actually a speaker system and PA and mics.
Upgrade from that.
Yeah. The upgrade, yeah.
Mr. Sykes, did you want to make
No,
a
that's what I was wanting to make sure
okay.
Leanne gets that, because this antiquated system needs to be.
Well, okay. Does the council have any questions? Comments? Then we would open it up for public comment. Are there any public comments on this LOR request for audio-visual upgrades? Any public comments? Public comments. Then bring it back to the council table.
I'll make a motion that we accept LOR's commitment of $24,000 to upgrade our audio and visual equipment to better engage with Libby residents.
Second.
Okay. So all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Tabitha. Appreciate it very much. Brings us on to the appointment of Jaden Hewlin to the planning board. That would be for a term that expires on January of 27. In order to try to bring all those terms, this would be the last term, and so that two of them expire each year, each January. So I was trying to bring those into compliance.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I abstain.
Okay. There is a letter of from the planning board recommending this appointment. So, are there any questions? Would you like for Mr. Earlin to introduce himself? Why don't you come up and say a few words?
I'm Jaden Newland. I'm looking to be appointed to the Planning and Zoning Board. I have lived in Libby pretty much my whole entire life, and I just have an interest in how the government workings are. So I'd like to make the community better.
Okay, thank you. So, would you like to say anything?
No, I'll just make a motion that we appoint Jaden to the planning board.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other council questions or comments? Any public comments on this appointment? Mr. Orr?
ECOR 1117 Nevada Avenue. The planning board does need new blood. They have not kept up with what they were required to do. It's great to see you guys correcting that. But they have a history of not doing what they're required to do. The planning board operated for 2 years doing zoning illegally without forming a zoning commission. And they were allowed to keep all this stuff that they did in secret for those 2 years. And the public was kind of left flat-footed because of that. The planning board just has been poorly run. I attend meetings on occasion. They've got good people there that just don't understand what they're doing there. I hope Jaden Newland educates himself so that so he can offer some good discussion. I offer good discussion when I do go, and actually I got shouted down one time by the chairman for pointing out that what they were doing was not proper. It still wasn't proper, and a lot of the problems that we're having at the Port Authority come out of the problems in the planning board.
Does this have to do with this appointment?
Yes, I'm telling Jaden that he ought to educate himself. Do you understand that? Did you hear me say that?
I could uphold that point of order.
Yeah,
yes.
That's just rude.
Any other public comments? Any other public comments? Public comments? Then I would bring it back to the council table. Any other comments? Then all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Yulin. Thank you for applying. Appreciate it. So moving on to Resolution 2061, a resolution of the City Council declaring certain City of Libby property as surplus and authorizing its disposal at auction. Whereas the following city-owned property has served its useful life for the City of Libby's purposes and needs and is no longer being used or operated by the city. And whereas the city does not anticipate using or operating said property at any time in the future, and whereas several items will be sold, and whereas Montana Code annotated Section 784201 provides that the city may sell, dispose of, donate, or lease any property belonging to the city, now be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Libby that the following city property is approved for sale, transfer, or disposal. And so this is the list. I do want to bring your attention to the last item, which is the 15 by 21 portable dance floor. It's been in the Ponderosa room. It was part of the room, and nobody used it. It has been used maybe twice in the last 10 years. So we were thinking that it might be best used by someone else who has a better use for it. So the council can remove that if they would prefer, or they can include it if you're okay with that.
I might buy it.
I might need one.
I've seen it up once, and that was about 6 years ago for an anniversary where they brought a DJ in, and it's fairly small when you really are trying to dance on it, when you have more than 3 couples. So.
John Travolta, man, I just envision
So,
He'll be out pretty soon in the Santa suit.
I make a motion that we pass resolution 2061.
A second.
okay, so is there any council comment or questions?
Yes, sorry, there's a correction. The passage date needs to be September.
Oh, did you not get the corrected one?
Well, I'm just looking on.
Oh, yes, it did go out with the incorrect date on it. Sam and I caught it this afternoon and gave everyone corrected copies with the correct date on it, because the original one said October of 23. That's cutting,
Copy paste.
copy paste. But the one you have in front of you does say September 2nd, 2025. So any other comments or questions? Okay, any public comments on resolution 2061? Public comments on, yes, Mr. Orr.
So I just want to make sure that some of my property didn't get mixed in this. A couple of years back, the mayor directed their city crews to go onto my leased property and steal all my possessions. I reported that as a theft to the sheriff and to the police chief, both of them. I have never heard anything. I know that Sam sent an email one time admitting that you guys had some of my property. And I'd still like to get some of it back. Now, the mayor lied to everybody and said it was on city property, but it was not. It was on private property. So if any of my possessions are in that, I'd like a chance to look at the lot. I'd go down there with the chief, and if I can point out anything that was stolen from me, I want it back. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Public comment? Okay. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will proceed forward with that auction. Brings us to the claims received to date. Did everyone get an opportunity to look at the claims?
Make a motion to approve all claims received to date.
Second.
Okay. Any questions on any of the claims? Okay. Any public comments on the claims? We'll remind you, if you want to look at the claims, they're available on the Mondays of council meetings. You can just come in and make that request, and someone will show them to you. So any public comments on the claims? Public comments on the claims? Then all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The claims are approved. Brings us to the business license, that application received to date, which is Timberjack Handyman Services, LLC.
Make a motion we approve all business licenses received today.
Second.
Okay. Any questions about that business license? Any public comment regarding this business license? Public comment? Public comment? Then all in favor of this business license?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The business license is approved, which brings us to the end, the finished business of the Community Development Coordinator job description and discussion. We did have 2 items submitted, changing the grant writer to Community Development Coordinator to consider. The first one I have is the one that says draft on it, and the job description of a community coordinator. The second one is more voluminous and talks about applications, the development, and coordinator experience in a longer form. So do I have any comments regarding this? Any questions? And how a direction as to how to move forward. And I am going to say that Jen McCauley came to the last meeting and requested a meeting to talk about KRDC. I am meeting with her tomorrow at 4 if anyone would like to join us. And it's an exploratory thing to see what KRDC does, how it's going to, how it pictures a cooperative agreement, and see if there's any validity in trying to go there.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Can we hold this discussion until after that meeting and see where it goes?
Sure. If everyone else is agreeable to that,
Where is that meeting located?
it's here
Here.
at 4. Okay. Any other comments? Any disagreement with holding the discussion?
No, I think that's fine. This, yeah, there's a lot to sort of put together here between the two. So.
Okay. Any public comment on this agenda item? Yes, Tabitha.
Having, do I need to say my name now? Okay, sorry, Tabitha Birgitz with the Lower Foundation, 417 Mineral Avenue, Suite 6. Having read through the job description, I just wanted to let the city know that we are a resource for fund sourcing. So should that be an avenue that you're looking for someone, we do provide that service free of charge to you. So should you have a project that is larger than something that LOR could grant, we can look at opportunities that are out there that are geared towards rural communities, and we do that service for you free of charge. So just something to consider, at least for the few years we have left here, that should you guys have a project and need to find sources of funding, we can help do that. We can also help read through and proof grants that are completed by the city.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other public comments? Mr. Orr?
So this meeting tomorrow will be a public meeting?
You're welcome to come.
All right.
And listen.
I'll give you a little background now. This position is slated to be a liaison between the city of Libby and KRDC. And you already have 2 members of the council that actually have been called out repeatedly on their conflicts of interest between the KRDC and the city. I looked through the minutes a while back and I see that Councilman Taylor raised that issue and the mayor refused to address it. That is one element of collusion. Now, you know that this Torgerson lawsuit is heating up and it's really gaining some traction, but the KRDC no longer gives reports. We have 2 people on the board that are on the council that have conflicts of interest, and they're tied to the Torgerson lawsuit in stuff like the recent Cedar Street extension, which was the only benefit I see. Now they say it went to the Libby Creek community, but that's nonsense. The only reason for $640,000 extension of the Cedar Street water line that I can see is to benefit Noble, which is what the port is in trouble for. And what we haven't heard from, like, the head of the Water and Sewer Committee is what all the development down there at the port is going to do to our infrastructure. We're going to be inundated with stuff from down there, and no one's talking about who's going to pay for when we have to expand our water treatment, when we have to expand our sewer.
This doesn't have anything to do with the grant writer.
It doesn't.
It has everything to do with this position being with KRDC. Absolutely. You guys can argue if you want. You can try and disrupt me, because that's what you do. And then you get away with
speak to the grant writer position.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other public comments? Other public comments? Then does council have any other comments regarding this? Okay, then I'll move on to general comments from the council. I don't have any at this point.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
I'll have to call on Mr. Orr because I don't have my notes in front of me. The study commission is going to publish their preliminary findings on the 29th?
7th, I believe. Don't trust me.
The end of September, anyways, and then we're
Okay.
having another public meeting.
Okay. Any other council comments? Then I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.
See y'all next week at our event.